welcome back to another video. And firstly, I want to apologise. It's been so long since I've done like a sit down video like this. You've had quite a lot of my vlogs recently. Also, you will notice a change. I am back to dark hair for the time being. I am kind of giving my hair a little bit of a break from dyeing it every 8 to 10 weeks because that's what I was having to do to maintain the bright ginger colour that I had. Also, it was highly recognisable. People recognised me on nights out and tried to cause fights. So, not saying I get into fights, guys. I'm not a confrontational person. But, you know, when people diss my family or close friends, that's gonna get me going. So yeah, I have dyed it back to more or less my natural colour. I've kept some of the ginger in as highlights. But it's going to be like this for the next couple of months, until particularly my fringe gets back to being healthy. And then I'll probably go back to being ginger. Because, you know, let's face it, that's the colour I always go back to. So, enough of me rambling. Let's get on with the topic of today's video. You can already guess by the title. But I am going to be doing a makeup look using all of my eyeshadow palettes. This is inspired by Nikkie Tutorials, who did this a year or two ago. I don't have as many palettes as her. I have 21 palettes. Some of them I use on a regular basis. Some of them I barely use, but I've kept because they cost a fortune. But I have no idea how this is going to turn out. So, you know, no idea. So yeah, that's basically what this video is going to be. So enough of me rambling. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified of when I upload. And yeah, let's get on with this video, guys. So I'm going to start by just clipping my hair out of the way. So I'm starting out by priming with the Benefit Pore Professional or Pore Fessional Pearl Primer. This is the mini. These are so expensive, which is probably why I don't use primer very often. But I'm just taking this amount and rubbing it in between my fingers and just gonna apply this all over. Like so. So I'm gonna do my eyebrows first, because they're non-existent, and I'm gonna start by taking the Revolution Soap Styler. I actually do need to clean the brush for this, so please don't come at me. I have been working a ton, as you guys would have seen in my vlog, and yeah, haven't had time. But this is what it looks like. It's a little gold thing with the soap inside. So I've actually just wet mine up. It's actually dripping water. And I actually use the brush that comes with it, but you can use a spoolie if you want. I'm just going to run this through my brows. And then I take a spoolie and actually push my brow hairs up. And then I just take my white Revolution SFX powder. This is the white base powder, face powder, whatever you want to call it. And just take what is it? A beauty blender. I will get words out today and just pop that over the top just to get the soap to stay as such. So first off, I'm going in with the MUA brow pencil. This one is really tiny, I need to get a new one. And this is actually, oh no, this is one of the eyeliner pencils. This is in the shade Rich Brown, and I actually use this on my brows. Like so. And then I'm going to do the front portion of my brow in the MUA Brow Define Eyebrow Pencil in the shade Mid Brown. So it's this one. And I'm going to repeat on the other eyebrow and I'll be back. So, I do apologise that previous section of my foundation and concealer was filmed in time-lapse. I completely didn't realise. But if you're wondering, this is the brush. You probably didn't see it properly. Like I say, Sean's mum bought me a set of these for my birthday. This is obviously my beauty blender. It's what I always use. This is the foundation, the MUA Pro Base one. And this is my concealer, the Revolution Matte Base one. So, now that we're back to normal, we're going to go in with my contour, and it's the W7 Shimmer Bronzer. This has been a go-to for years. I mean, you can see it's got a dint in the middle. I'm just going to contour my 3 area, basically. And I'm also going to take a smaller brush and just contour down the sides of my nose. Like so. Then I'm going to go on to my blush, which is the MUA Luxe Blush Trio palette in the shade Bashful, and I'm going in with these 2 shades. I'm just going to pop that a little bit on my cheeks above my contour. So now we're going in with highlight, and again this is something Sean's mum bought me, and it's Sunkist Baked to Perfection even Blush Highlight Duo. This one doesn't have a shade on the back, but as you guys can see, this is blush, this is highlight. So I'm just going to take my finger and run it in the highlighter section and just pop that on the high points of my cheeks and a little bit on my cupid's bow. Like so. So the first palette we're going into is the MUA Winter Forest Matte Collection. I've used this in quite numerous different looks, but we are going into this one first. And I have no idea what colour I'm going to go with. I'm thinking smoky. So I'm thinking I'm going to start with this shade here, and we're going to do this side of my face. So that is palette 1. Next palette is the NYX Elements of Fire palette. This one was a gift. This is what it looks like. And I'm thinking I'm going to do this one on the opposite eye. So I'm also thinking I'm going to go in with this shade here, which is number 10. Like so. Now we are going to go into the Lamora Exposed Nudes palette. This was a gift at Christmas from my auntie. So this is what we have. And I am thinking I'm going to go in with the shade Espresso and just smoke this out a little bit. Like so. The next one is I Heart Revolution Curses and Hexes, a palette. This was released last year. Really cool shades in this one. So I am actually gonna go in with this purple tone here. I absolutely love this purple tone, and I'm just gonna pop it on this side. To just give it more of a vibrant look, like so. Next one is the Huda Beauty Desert Dust palette. This one is a dupe, but this is what we have. And I'm gonna go in with the shade Amethyst and start to pop that on my lid. Like so. The next one is the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette remastered. Again, a dupe. Let's see what we've got in here. I am actually going to go in with I'm going to go in with a mixture of henna and suede, just to try and smoke this out even more. Like so. Next one is the Revolution Chilled with Cannabis Sativa palette. This again was a gift from my ex's mother. I can't get it open now. So it looks like this, and I'm actually going to go in with the shade, see, I'm thinking more this eye. I'm thinking I'm going to go in with the shade Plant. Like so. Next we have the Jeffree Star Blood Sugar Anniversary palette. Again, one of my favourite palettes. I haven't had it that long, but this is what we have. And I'm thinking I'm going to go in with two colours from this palette, Root Canal and Cavity. Brush. So we're going to go in with Root Canal first. A little bit like so. And then I'm going to go in very quickly with Cavity. And there we have it. The next palette is a palette that I bought and I don't really use, and it's the Urban Decay Game of Thrones palette. So for this one, I am going to go in with the shade House Lannister and just really try and blend this out. So we have a little bit more in the way of blending on that side. It's not perfect, I will clean it up. So I have just had a quick blend out. All I did was take a clean, dry, fluffy brush and blend it out a little bit. I didn't remove anything or anything like that. So the next palette is again a present I got from Sean's mum, and it's Sunkist Warm Nudes eyeshadow palette. This is what it looks like, guys. And I'm actually going to take a combination of this shade and this shade to blend out both sides. Like so. The next one is the W7 Vivid palette in the shade Outrageous Orange. So this is what it looks like, and I am actually going to take this shade here and just pop that on this eye. Like so. The next palette is this little e.l.f. one. Doesn't have a name for it. I'm sorry, guys. But it's this little e.l.f. one. I'm actually going to go in with the darkest shade here and really smoke up this corner. Like so. The next palette is the Morphe 25B. Again, this was gifted to me. And again, I'm going to be using neutral shades to smoke this lot out. So I'm thinking along the lines of this shade and this shade. And again, just using it to smoke this out and actually really get some blend on it. Like so. So the next palette is the Jeffree Star Thirsty palette. This was my first ever Jeffree palette. This is what it looks like. So we are going to be taking the shade you know what shade I'm on about, and the shade Taste Buds, and just really making this pop a little bit more. Like so. The next one is the Jeffree Star Jawbreaker palette. So this is what it looks like. And I'm thinking we're going to go in with a mixture of the shade Cute and Sour and just start to bring in on this inner crease. Like so. The next palette is probably controversial at the moment, but it's the James Charles Morphe collaboration palette, and we are going to be taking this shade here, which I believe is Cola. Let's have a look. No, it's called Playground. So this one here called Playground, and we're just going to pop that in between the bluey green and the green. Like so. The next palette is the Lorac Beginners Collection 120 Summer Eyeshadow Tones. So it looks like this, guys. And I am going to take this shade here. There you go. So the next palette, I've only got 4 left, is the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. And I'm going to use the shades Sourced and Chaser and just blend this out. Like so. Then I'm going in with the Nikkie Tutorials Beauty Bay collaboration palette when I can get it out. Seeming as she has inspired this challenge. So this is what the palette looks like, guys. And I'm actually going to cut my crease, but I'm going to go in with the shades Pride and Roxy Catan and pop these on the lid. So I am just quickly going to cut my crease to do that. So I've just cut my crease. So we're going to go in with the Nikkie palette using the shade Pride and Roxy Catan. So I'm just taking the shade Pride. Like so. Now I'm going to put those 2 shades along my lower lash line as well. Like so. So the next palette we have is the Makeup Revolution Bunny palette. I believe this one was called Licorice. This is what it looks like, and I'm going to take the blue shade in this and pop that on the lid of this eye, or part of the lid of this eye. A little bit like so, and the black is the new black one from Makeup Obsession. And I'm actually going to go in with this shade called Shadow because it has a slight bluey undertone. So I'm just going to take that on my finger. Like so, and then the final shade that I'm going into is this shade called Sparkle. I'm going to pop that on the inner corner. This is more of a foil shade. Like so. So that is all my eyeshadow palettes used. I'm going to finish this look off with lashes, liner, a little bit of lipstick,